right? See how I'm kind of linking everything together? Like viewers should be able to trust you, at least trust that you're hopefully putting out the right information. Seems like you're just kind of fighting it. And since I'm flat range, I
So
mean, maybe I just don't know, right?
I missed the first part of what you said, Charlie. But
Yeah, jeez.
again, the purpose of the test was to give the truth. The Glock failed the same exact test as the SIG. Why is that controversial?
Well, you keep saying same exact.
Brand new gun versus a brand new car versus an old car driving across country.
So how about this?
The old one's less reliable.
Let's say this.
Why wouldn't it be? Glock, hold on. Glock recoil springs don't last forever, man. Just you ever talk to a guy? You ever talk to Joe Chambers or listen to any of his stuff? How long does a flat wire recoil spring last? Let's talk about a Gen 3 gun. Flat wire recoil spring. How long does it last in reality?
A Glock recoil spring, the first spring you have to change out on a Glock, I believe, is 7,000 rounds. And then 10,000 rounds for all springs in the handgun.
That's not a reality, though. Glocks are notorious for not going back into battery when the recoil springs start to get a little bit weak.
And SIGs are notorious for going off in the holster. Why did mine not go off in the holster during the test?
It hasn't yet. Can I ask you a question, though, outside of this? Not arguing. Did you, now that you put that and you ran that SIG, though, just out of curiosity, have you inspected any of those parts that everybody's think might be the failure? On a serious note. Yeah. The stuff that they're saying is wearing prematurely and causing the issue?
Yeah, dude. Every time I do one of these videos, I do a, what's it called? A debrief video where I show it on the camera as best. I'm not an armorer, right? I'm just I'm just a dude, right? And I want to circle back to Charlie's point because now, it's rubbing me the wrong way. Charlie is basically telling me that I haven't done what I've done, which is like.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Unless you have two different practice scores.
No, not to my understanding.
Okay, then you definitely haven't done what you've done. And I'm only firing shots because you fired shots, man. So.
I mean, why would I? Okay, we'll
why would you lie?
I mean, dude, I literally keep this here as a need. I keep this in my vehicle.
I don't care. What is that, dude? I have 100 stolen valor ribbons, dude. Okay.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Are you accusing me of stolen valor?
USPSA stolen valor, and that's way more serious than regular stolen valor.
Okay, so clearly you're either memeing or we have nothing to talk about.
No, I'm being serious. I have your practice score right here.
Okay, well, it's obvious to me that you're here to meme or because accusing somebody of stolen valor is not a
USPSA stolen valor, not regular stolen valor.
Dude,
please get it correct.
Fuck USPSA, stolen valor. Like, fuck the meme that you're trying to go for. Like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so what Charlie's trying to say here is that when you make a statement like I've won many competitions in and out of the military, but I think with Charlie's point, he has your practice score. I don't have your practice score up. I have no idea. But Charlie's point is he's just looking at your practice score and he's not seeing wins outside of your military record, right? I think that's Charlie's point.
Yeah, I've never claimed to be a grand master or whatever. But I have won steel challenges. I have won the most recent USPSA match that I've competed in.
You didn't.
Okay, well, he said, she said. Like
no, it's not he said, she said. I'm literally looking at it.
Okay, well.
And you know it. You know it, man. So, like, let's not fake the funk. But the thing I'm kind of circling back to, right, if that's something you say, it's obviously not the truth, and then we're going to a torture test, and you're saying, I did these things the same way. Red Arms is putting out points like you didn't do it that way. So how are we supposed to trust you without maybe certain things that he's asking for? Receipts. I don't know if you want to. You don't have to. But you can black out certain information. You could ask him, hey, if I send it to you, please don't share it. And also black out information. I mean, simple as that. And also USPSA stolen valor is on joke.
So Brad's Arms has not proven or made any valid claim as to my testing.
You did it yourself. You said one gun was brand new, one was 5 years old. That's done. The test is over. Done.
One gun was
5 years
out of the box with 0 rounds. The Glock 19 was my carry gun.
Yeah, for 5 years.
Yes.
If you bought a brand new like you claimed.
No, I don't. I can't put a timestamp on when I bought the gun, but
I can put a timestamp on mine, and it's a whole letter behind on the serial number.
Okay, so let's we'll give you the W and say that, okay, one gun had my, obviously I've been carrying it for a while. I don't know if it was 5 years, right? The Glock 19, but even then, are you saying that a Glock with 2,000 or 3,000 rounds can't beat a SIG with 0?
It's still not a fair test. It's a massive variable in the test. Massive.
Okay, I agree, and that's why I bought 2 brand new Glocks to test it again.
And if you do it again, I do recommend the soil thing. Get that bag. If you go back, I don't even remember who the guy that was that did it, but I know that years ago, Jaeger was involved in it, and they shot that Gen 3 gun, like guys loaded mags, and to the point where the end of the plastic recoil guide broke off and it shot out of the gun. He was still running it. Yeah, I think it was Jaeger. And then there was another guy who did the soil test and different stuff, and he buried a Glock 21 for like 2 years. But those guys, and I want to say the testing with a 21, the USP actually did a little better, I think, in the dirt and stuff. So, like, I'm not a Glock fanboy by any means. I mean, I carry a J frame most of the time. That 19 doesn't get much use anymore. But I didn't think it was I thought the test was terrible. That's all. I just saw the gun wear. I'm like, that's not a new gun. The SIG looks brand new. That's all. I called it out.
Problem,
you showed up in my DM and you were an asshole, and I called you out on it.
Yeah, but the problem now is because I'm gonna test I'll probably test the 19X first, right? I'll probably test the 19X. I'll probably put more control variables in effect, right? But now I don't have a brand new M17. You see how this is just gonna be like a never-ending. Like, I don't have the money. I'm not trying to be like complain about finances here, but I already bought the 2 brand new guns. I don't have the money to sit here and like, okay, now another M17. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to even do them side by side. What if you just did the 19X by itself? Just run it through its paces and see how it does. You know what I mean? Don't compare it to a gun that's already been run through the paces hard.
Right, and that's the current plan, because my audience basically was like, hey man, we really want to see the MHS gun. Hopefully I didn't lose you. I'm backup cameraing right now.
No, you're good.
My audience really wants to see the 19X because it was the MHS, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Because a lot of guys were upset by the 19, and I said, I get it, man. I get it. Let's do it again. We'll do it with a brand new 19X. Because I was upset too, because it does impact a dude's psyche when you see your gun fail. Like, I'll meet you halfway with that when it's like, damn, like, you don't want to see the Glock fail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't care what gun it was. If it was the sight that came off an M&P and I watched the same video, it could have been a Taurus. I was just calling out what I saw. Like I said, I was a Glock fanboy back when I lived in Mass, because they were off roster, they were cool to have. But after 20 years of playing, let's find the next Glock killer, I circle all the way back to a 19 after all that time. It's the go-to. It's known as one of the best guns. So you're going to get that, right? You're going to get that from people. It's like saying, I don't know, like it's what do you guys call it? The sample of one. It's like having a Toyota Tacoma. Everybody knows a Toyota Tacoma is a reliable, good truck, but you got that one person. It's like, mine was a giant piece of shit. So they're all pieces of shit. It's the same idea.
Obviously I take people's constructive criticism, like valid criticism, to heart, right? I've taken this whole thing to heart, even though I do feel like the Glock let me down because the trigger bound up. The trigger wouldn't even reset. If you go watch the video again, the trigger had me sketched out in the video, because there'd be a mushy trigger, like the trigger would be to the rear, and I would tap the bottom of the magazine to begin a tap rack reassess, and the trigger would reset. So obviously that sketched me out during the test. But to finish my point, yeah, I have a 19X. It's going to get delivered. I won't be able to pick it up. I'm at some training right now, unfortunately. Oh, I don't know what's happening here.
No, you're good. Somebody donated through Ko-Fi and it has that pop-up link.
I'm at some Stolen Valor training, according to Charlie, right now.
USPSA Stolen Valor, please get it right. It's more serious than regular Stolen Valor. You messed it up again. That's why I can't trust your torture. Stolen Valor.
Yep, Stolen Valor here.
Thank you.
So I won't be able to start the test for a couple weeks. But yeah.
Well, so what else, Rads, did you want to go over with specifically with Trench? Because, I mean, I don't know if we're holding Trench up from other things, but
we've kind of really gone over it, and I mean, kind of is where we're at. Can't really beat a dead horse over it. you know?
Right. Well, and so this is another thing in general that I wanted to talk about. So a lot of these like destructive tests or these torture tests or whatever, even your own personal findings, like with my Canic that is sitting at like 10,000 rounds right now, my conclusions are not absolute. So like when I finish a video or my own personal testing, a lot of it is opinion, a lot of it is anecdotal. It is not like gospel truth, right? This isn't dogma. So I think what a lot of people have problems with is when people make absolute statements like, based on my results, therefore 19X, that's garbage, it's a bad gun, nobody should carry one anymore because you have like one fail a test that people have issues with the test to begin with. Not to mention that, again, we're talking about sample sizes of one, so making absolute statements off of your own individual testing isn't really all that useful, right? It can help, maybe establish a track record, or maybe in conjunction with other people with more experience it might help, but it can't be just used on its own, basically.
Yeah, that's true. It's the same thing goes for automobiles, right?
Yeah, 100%.
That's the idea behind it. I mean, I don't know. I've been playing with that Daniel H9. I had the first one, sent it back, didn't have issues. Tons of people had issues with the first one. I didn't have any issues with it. It worked fine, but I sent it back. New one came back, had some mag issues. I worked through myself. Firing pin is starting to. Daniel just sent me a firing pin for that thing. They wanted me to send the gun back, but I convinced them I didn't want to do that. And the firing pin I posted in my stories completely redesigned from the one that came out of the already redesigned gun. So like I want that gun to work, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. And eventually I'll post about that. I'm trying to work through it, right? It's same thing. Everybody had issues. I had no issues with my first one. Doesn't mean that the other issues people were having aren't real. I just didn't have any issues,
And to be clear on my testing, I never said the Glock was a bad gun, right? I said I was disappointed. I titled it that I was disappointed and that, it definitely let me down. And I was pretty upset, to be honest, about this performance, but it's still my carry gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What got my attention on the sight one was, though, it's like the clickbait, right? You see that and you're like, Glock failed, and then you go to the video.
Yeah, of course.
Sites.
That's how YouTube works.
Well, so that's what I mean. That's why people get upset
it.
about that, is because it's like, Glock perfection is cook, Glock's final stand, Glock 19 fails, burn down. That's Glock perfection on copium. It's those statements combined with some people don't like the testing or just the concept in general. That's where people are going to get mad.
Unfortunately, we're in a saturated. We're in a saturated, not market, but you know what I mean, like content space where everyone's making reviews and I have no subscribers, right? So out past
you have as many as I do, bro.
Yeah, you got like 51K.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have no. It's just when you it's kind of, what is it, what's that one fucking dude who talks about two-way stuff all the time and every title is Supreme Court
scholar.
Yeah, so when you do stuff like that,
Biden removes the Second Amendment. It's so over. He's coming for your guns.
So when you put some crazy clickbait title saying it's over,
Biden is in my closet.
That, it's like,
I despise that. So what is it? You're talking about the fat dude, right? The like top fat dude?
Armed scholar.
I don't know.
Armed scholar.
Wait, dude.
You're what's not weight blind, color blind, weight blind?
Yeah,
well,
dude. It's 2019. I don't see color, bro.
Yeah. Your passion is USPSA stolen valor. My passion is fat people on the internet.
No, my passion is not USPSA stolen valor because I've never done that.
Are you accusing Armed Scholar of skinny stolen valor?
True. That is my accusation. Write it down.
Nah, dude. I personally, I think you just get. I don't want to say further, right? Like, I don't know, man. It's super clickbaity, those titles and stuff. And like I said, if there's new shooters, new viewers who's thinking about a gun or whatever gun, and they see that, maybe it sticks in their head like, oh, Glock sucks ass now. When
even if
it doesn't necessarily. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's the point. And obviously, you're doing like it's saturated, whatever it is. Well, let it be saturated, dude. Don't reach out for super clickbaity titles, and if you build a core audience and they like what you're doing and they like what you're putting out, then cool. Like, don't rely on the title, because then that's when the wrong message gets sent. And that's when you're in a room full of assholes like us that have to do things like USPSA stolen valor. It's no fun for anyone. That's That's all I'm saying. And then, that's not even getting into your follow-up video, which I watched today about aftermarket triggers. I could go on for days about that, which maybe that's why I brought it up. But anyways, that's the point, dude.
We can disagree. You're not going to change my mind. It's everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I take it you like aftermarket. I don't. So.
Well, it's kind of the hard, because what was the title? What was the title of the video? It's like unprecedented.
Glock perfection is cooked.
Was it? No,
the discharge one.
Wait, the discharge video?
Yeah,
Glock uncommanded discharge
pandemic. Yeah, because in the video you're saying some pretty crazy, like, these aftermarket triggers will get you killed in the streets or something like that. And it's like, okay, there's some, right, Trigger Tech is having some issues. They put out a good video statement, like accepting responsibility, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, great statement today. Great statement today.
But then it's like, dude,
you got to date it though in the right order.
I think there's a little bit, now, like, I'm not the best in the world, greatest shooter, anything like that. And just when it comes to this mud test where Rad's Arms is trying to, call out some stuff, but also he's obviously giving you advice like, hey, you could do this. Same thing with that. It's like, don't feel like you have to reach for clickbait shit or anything like that just because you may not have the experience yet. Just like get the experience or reach out to other people. When I don't know shit, guess what? I bring someone else who's much better than myself on the channel, Like, and don't USPSA stolen valor, dude.
Well, the Rad's Arms, the Trench Grenade v Rad's Arms started honestly because of the initial communication, and then someone sent me his stuff. It was a video. It was an emotional video discussing my testing, and then we had an exchange, and then that's how it went down. And then we had some DMs with Focus involved, and there was just accusations being thrown around. What
was the military record thing about that you sent him? What were you even asking him?
Well, so I think Trench was going off in that, because I think I was part of that Discord or that group chat for just a second before you left, Trench. But I think you were asking him, like, what's your pedigree? You've never tested Glocks. You've never done something along those lines.
So
if I didn't do it, I don't know any, but I've been doing this stuff for a long time.
And I'm going to be very honest, and I apologize, Rad's Arms, for my reaction during the time that we had that first interaction with Focus. And the whole initial thing, you got to understand, I was being attacked by everyone that had ever carried a Glock ever in their entire life, even if it was for a minute. And the most ridiculous claims about it was one batch of ammo to the next. It was Magpul's fault, not Glock OEM mags, you name it, man. It was everything under the sun. And you were just another thing into that pile, right? So I should have done better of just being like, you know what, let's take a step back. But I reacted, right? You were attacking me emotionally, so I reacted emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing you do have to expect, because I do see some of the comments on there. If you're going to do that type of stuff, you read some of the positive comments, don't even respond to the negative. Because trust me, I've called people out over the years, especially like Instagram all the years. And there's comments back when I was calling out Tim Kennedy before it was cool. I have his followers showing up in my comments, like destroying me. And my thing was, I'd go in and I'd like it. I'd like their comment. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I'd ignore it and like it. You just have to ignore it. It's like, I don't know. It's like being a celebrity, right? You're in a small celebrity in a gun industry, a small industry. Like, think of those people on like TMZ, right? They get their pictures taken. They're doing stuff. You have to ignore that type of stuff, because you're still getting the comments, you're still getting the engagement, and the algorithm picks that up. Whether they're positive, the algorithm doesn't know if it's positive or negative. So you kind of want that negative, some of those negative comments too.
Yeah.
And you want your followers.
You're 100% right.
You want your followers to respond to the negative comments, right? You want to build an audience that you don't have to even respond. They'll go in and they'll defend you or defend the position to that person. You don't have to do a single thing. That's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And I used to do better at just ignoring it. I think over the time, because I grew my channel, probably like a lot of us here, from nothing. So I think over the time, at first it was 5,000, then it was 10,000, and as things grew to where it is now around 50,000, it was like, damn, some of these comments are not based on anything. They're just hating to hate. It's just hate. It's hate to get a reaction. And you're 100% right. The second you give them a reaction of any reaction at all, they're like, boom, got him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, but don't you think you're kind of doing the same thing? And listen, when I put Orion Training Group, Jared, on a thumbnail next to his employee in latex with a Bible over it, like, I understand that that's a provocative thumbnail that I am using, right, to illustrate the point of the Bible salesmanship that goes on between Valley OG and OTG, right? So I understand that I'm going to get Orion Training Group defenders in there, like, no, bro, this isn't a big deal. Well,
bro, he doesn't let me
he
tag
ghosted
him
me
anymore. He does, like, you know how you can't tag? He won't let me tag him because I tagged him in my video.
Mm-hmm.
You might have it set for everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, well, you blocked Rad's arms like right away, didn't you?
Yeah, you did block me.
Yeah, like instantly.
And I'm honest, only you, Black Rambo, and Top Shot Justin are the only people to block me.
You got blocked by Black Rambo, dude?
Everybody in the industry. Oh yeah, he didn't like my video I posted, the voiceover I did of him. Like,
you know what's funny is that I thought. You guys remember when Black Rambo pointed his Desert Eagle at his son live on camera? Because he was like, look at this red dot. And his son's like sleeping in his bed. Yes. And he's just walking around his room, like showing it off, like pointing it at his son. And then he posted that video in his unevolved mind. He was like, this is perfect Instagram content. I will post this video of me pointing a Desert Eagle at my sleeping son.
I was blocked at that point. I just came across it. Somebody sent it to me.
Well, this has been fun. Rads, I hope we're good, man. I'm going to redo the test.
I got no hard feelings. Never have, man.
And yeah, obviously I reacted emotionally. I'm, I don't like having bad blood out there. This isn't that serious, right? At the end of the day, I'm just trying to put infantry content, all the stuff that I do. I'm just trying to do it with a clear conscience, right? So yeah, it didn't sit well with me. That's why when Focus initially was like, let's just have a conversation. I was like, yeah, let's have a conversation, man. And it didn't line up the other night. I kind of wish it would have. That way we could have squashed it. And
it was last minute for me. That's all.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I apologize, for the interaction. I am definitely going to redo the test. If for nothing else, for entertainment, I still like to shoot. You know what I mean? And if guys don't like it, then I'll have to put, for memes only in the title or something. I don't fucking know. So
yeah, just change some of your wording in the title. You know what I mean? Just a little bit, like as it's a question, right? Because that'll help kill some of that clickbait too. Like, did Glock 19 feels burned down with a bunch of question marks? You know what I mean? Just something simple like that's just enough that it's not making a statement, but it's an attention grabber.
I actually tested that today on the last thing. Yeah. I posted the same exact video, State of the World Urgent. John McPhee was a part of the video because he's been accused of stolen valor. I posted up all the references in the video.
Which stolen valor?
Not the real one, fake stolen valor.
Okay.
Not the one you're concerned about, Charlie. Okay. So yeah, I posted a thumbnail with him, and then I posted a thumbnail without him. If you look at the comments, it's hate his fanboys, and then when I changed the thumbnail, damn, this is crazy. I can't believe this. And all the evidence is on screen, right? So there is something to that of like hate is just going to be spawned in by the thumbnail and the title, period.
Yep, absolutely.
It's the internet, man. Even if they're perfect, you'll get it.
So yeah, you just got to roll with the punches. That's just how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line of bringing it upon yourself and being accidental, right? There are some people who just hate when you call something out that they like PSA fanboys. Not a fan of my Jackal video, but everything in that Jackal video is correct, so they can sit and twirl, right?
Yep, you'll get that. You always do.
All right, gentlemen, I have been doing school things all day, so I need to go eat and do all the stuff, and study. So you guys have a good night. Rads, good touching base, brother. Charlie, I'm going to go win a competition in my sleep right now in USPSA. So
I'm right there with you,
man.
man.
Practice score. And Focus, thanks for having me on, brother.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro.
And to the Focus Trip audience, go fuck yourself. All right.
Yeah, they don't love you, man, but you have a good night. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Trench is a recurring character here, and the chat, it's mostly memes, but they do love to hate on Trench Grenade. All right, well, perfect. Hey, that's settled out that. So, Rads, I know that you talked about a little bit before we went live about some of the things that kind of brought you back into making more content.
Yeah, but I mean, I did it for a long time, voiceover stuff, and then I wouldn't post for months, or I'd do a meme that would get viral for a little bit. And I just kind of fell off. And then when the Tim Kennedy stuff started showing its face again, like the truth was coming out, that kind of like brought me back from the dead to start making more content about that. Only because I've been doing it for years. So I've seen all these pages and I'm like, man, I've been calling this out for years that the guy's a bullshit artist and everything else. And I just didn't have, factual proof like there is now.
Right.
Yeah, that. And then of course the 320 stuff. And I'm like, I need to get, every time I go to SHOT Show, like, I don't know, I want to start posting and doing stuff. I've never used my YouTube really. So I guess got getting more active and do stuff again because I do enjoy it when I do it.
Yeah. So what else has been catching your eye as of late?
I mean, it's tough to say. This is always something every day. There's some, almost feels like every day. I think the 320 took the heat away from Tim.
Yeah, I think the 320 dominated the feed it's still kind of dominating the feed. I think anytime that somebody posts a picture of one for sale, and like I just saw another picture today of used in a gun store, M18, $90.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was sitting. I think this one specifically was sitting next to like a High Point or something else that was more expensive than the M18, which just speaks to the lack of confidence that they have. Charlie, what about you, man? What's catching your eye in YouTube these days?
Honestly, YouTube, not much. I don't watch a lot of GunTube per se. I don't know, I fall asleep to history documentaries. That's about it. Honestly, that's what gets me going. I feel like there's so much shit out there, So
yeah, I agree. A lot of the GunTube stuff is just regurgitated over and over and over again. And then all the pages that were bigger pages is just advertisements every 5 minutes. And
well, yeah, quite literally. You have like three sponsored sections in each video for some of these guys. And it's like, it used to be cool because it was just individuals making content and it was very uncorporatized. But now that's reversed. It has just become like TV. And instead of like insert ads, you now have, baked in ads within the video itself for 30 minutes or 30 seconds, 60-second ads or whatever they are every so often. And these guys are raking in $10, $20, $30,000 an ad spot for some of these things.
It's wild, and some of them don't even. There's like, I've heard differing opinions about. I was like, what the fuck? Did I just see a mattress commercial on a gun video? And then some people are like, well, they could be pretty cool non-gun stuff and gun videos, and I don't know. For me, it's just like, must be paying a lot, dude.
A pillow. There was a pillow ad on Facebook. When you open Facebook or something, the app, and you see it, and then you go to it, it'll refresh before you can save it. It was like some sort of travel pillow, and he's talking about how he takes it with him places when he leaves the country. It was legit like a pillow yes.
He just takes it every single deployment he doesn't go on.
Yeah, so he can take it and bite on it or something. I don't know.
No, this is my special pillow here. I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure some of the audience would love that pillow if it came shaped as some sort of anime character. Jeez.
It's almost like we got through the gun bunny phase, and now we're just in what is this? Where are we at? In a weird.
Everybody's an expert, and then anybody who does have a lot of knowledge, if they're just starting out, they don't have the bankroll for the equipment and the editing and everything else, so their video comes off a little boring, and then they don't get the.
Well, yeah, people make this statement, but if the channel's, if it's a big channel, if it's above 100,000, above 200,000, whatever, it's kind of garbage, right? It's very corporate, it's very samey, cookie cutter type content. But it's those small guys that are either super knowledgeable or experts in their field, like actual experts, not retards like me. That actually have good opinions. The one channel that has done a really good job of not only gaining traction, but being like an objective expert with no content quality whatsoever is Ben Steger.
Yes,
he kills it.
Yeah, and he's going to be past 100,000 subs soon. He has not changed his content style. He just talks about whatever it is.
He talks too about something that's like even drama based. He's super mellow, like relaxed. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. Like, what was it when he was talking about? I think it was the Wholeson Samurai site or something like that.
Yes.
When that video had me dying, and also he knows what he's talking about. So it's kind of this weird thing where you get a lot of channels and you're just like, I'm reviewing this site, shoot 100 rounds, and it's like, cool, man, cool review. You know what I mean? You didn't really dig into it too much or whatever, but he'll put 15, 20,000 rounds easy through something. And he can talk about it. He has like experience with it. He has the knowledge, the know-how, everything. So you can watch him just talk about something and be like, yeah. You know, I said it on a different podcast that like, even if he hated me, I would still watch his channel to get an opinion on something. You know what I mean? Because I don't think he doesn't strike me as a type that needs to sell out for anything.
Well, and I think he's had a some people like that who have had a history of not like selling out or doing that for a long period of time, because he's been in the gun industry for 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see. Whereas I talked to you about this earlier, Charlie, but basically there's that type of personality that is not really interested in selling out. They just like what they do and do what they like, basically. And then there's the other type where they get into the gun industry because they're like, well, I like guns, but I also want to make a ton of money. So they get in, and as soon as they get to an acceptable size to be attractive to advertisers, to be attractive to big companies, they sell out like instantaneously. And that's where you'll see, okay, guys, we're now reviewing this product from one of my sponsors, even though I'm not going to mention it. Oh, by the way, buy my, mattress. Or have you guys checked out this crazy new video game called Raid Shadow Legends, or, whatever ad that it might be.
Yeah, you see that. And that's the thing, too, is like, I mean, you can sell out to a point, but you got to look at it from perspective. Like, if I wouldn't purchase this, that, you know what I mean? That's your integrity right there. So if someone offers you, like, I mean, years ago, Olight emailed me about something. They wanted to send me like some flashlights and a small amount of money. And I passed on it because I wouldn't buy one at the time. You know what I mean? But if it's something, that's how I think of it. If it's something that I would go out and purchase, then you know what? I'll try it. I'll maybe push it a little, but I want to run it. I want to make sure it works. I want to make sure it's legit.
Yeah.
The downside to that is if it's a piece of shit and you report that it's that, you ain't getting anything else from them. And I think that's what some people are afraid of too. And no one does a follow-up video. You get sent a gun on like some launch, you make it, you put 500 rounds through it, do a follow-up video a year later after you're shooting it. Same with like optics. You're talking about they put 100 rounds through it. How's that optic doing, few years down the road? You could make a small short about it. Hey, this thing's still working great. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like that too. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
I was just going to say, I think especially like smaller channels or something like that, they'll get something in it. I think there really is probably a fear for a lot of dudes who do it like, shit, if I'm honest, or if I say something bad, guess what? Like that's the truth. They won't send you anything else, unless it's one of the few companies that can take ownership and be like, yeah, we messed that up. Let's try and fix it, Yeah,
I think more companies would get better. Like, hey, we want an honest review, but like, let's just say the gun breaks. You let them know, hey, I'm going to do this review. This broke. You mentioned that in the video, because then you can talk about the other avenue, which is like the customer service part of it, right? Like they sent the part out right away. The gun's fixed. Haven't had any issues since. You know what I mean? Or like, for example, I like that Daniel H9 a lot, but it's not a gun I would tell somebody like, oh, I want to buy my first handgun or my second handgun. I wouldn't say go get a Daniel H9. If you already own 5 or 6 good handguns, then sure, a Daniel H9 is a fun little gun. It's neat, stuff like that. I wouldn't tell them to buy it over any other handgun, honestly. But it's
I'm waiting for your video. I'm waiting for your video on that, dude, because I know there are some other people who put out videos on that particular gun, and it's like, oh, I fucking know something's going up in the background. I know there has to be an exchange of something. I think allegedly, but that's why, yeah, man.
Yeah, well,
no, 100%.
I started doing it because I couldn't find anybody's follow up, because I saw people post like they got
the initial video.
Yeah, and they shot it. Yeah. And I forget who it was. They even had the same magazine problem I had when you loaded 15 rounds in the gun. If the slide was locked, you couldn't move it at all. And I'm not talking like it was, you don't have enough strength. Like, I don't know, the Glock 30 was coming for that. If you loaded a Glock 30 all the way up, you had to be like Hercules to pull the slide back, unless you let it sit with the mags for a while, the ammo in it. But it was a legit issue, and you couldn't even drop the slide on it. And on the back of the the followers, there was like this weird burr from like 3D printing or however they were making them, and it was making putting the follower at like a weird angle. Small stuff like that. The gun has its issues, and I did get that light strike, and that's what made me take the firing pin out. And I'm like, whatever material, whatever coating is on it, it was just peeling off. You could scrape it off with your nail. It was in the firing pin channel. And now the new firing pin looks like the same coating that Glock uses, and the end of the firing pin is completely changed, almost as if they were having issues with the braking and made it stronger. And there's also a weird counterweight in the firing pin that's held on by like a little pin, and it kind of just rides in there. It's got no way to come out, but it just kind of rides back and forth. I'd have to take it apart again and post a picture of it. Yeah, it's
yeah.
You can see there's like an oval shape in the firing pin, and it kind of rests in there, moves back and forth, almost as if to avoid light strikes, like it was an afterthought.
Right, like if you close the slide, it has like a buffer weight to slow it down a little bit.
Like
I don't bolt know bounce in a freaking HK 416, right? They had to
it has
a firing pin retainer in there.
It has a spring in front of the firing pin as well.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that type of thing sketches me out, because when a company with a new handgun, even though the H9 isn't super new, but when a company is having issues and they keep making changes and not telling anybody, I think that's sketchy long term. Because like with the SIG stuff of talking about the P320, they've made dozens of little changes here and there all the way along its service life, like between the different safety that came out in 2019, whenever they did that, but all of the individual parts for every single year are basically different. LFD's done good videos on like almost every single part has changed every single year in either geometry, shape, machining style, type, like. And so the point of these guns is to be modular. So like if you get a H9 10 years from now, let's say, you have no idea which little variation of parts you might or might not have if they keep making stealth changes to their gun as they figure out new problems and solutions, right? So that type of thing sketches me out.
And that's a whole nother trickle effect for content, Then you got dudes who are they might get one, runs fine, everything like that. Another dude who is having troubles with it, and then it's like, even if they're trying to be honest or it seems like a decent review, whatever it is, then it's like, oh, that guy must be lying, this other guys or these three other guys or something like that, So it's like it just adds a whole new category. It's so weird, such a weird thing.
Yeah, and then you get those like that. When I talked to Daniel on the phone, I said, are you guys ever planning on selling parts for this gun? Like I can get a spring myself without having to send my gun in, because they wanted me to send the gun in. I'm like, I don't want to, if I have to send this gun back again, my thought was when I get it back, it's gone. I'm not keep it. And they were like, just send us the firing pin back. We want to see it. And then obviously they've been seeing issues since it was changed. Not just the coating, it was the design of it itself was changed.
Yeah, like the total like internal geometry, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I forget where I was going to go with that, but
you were talking about SIG and stealth changes.
Well, stealth changes, yeah, that freaks me out. But well, let's talk about another non-stealth change, an objective change. The trigger tech, Ace Diamond trigger that they came out with, right, for Glocks, having some issues. Johnny Glock's got his to go off pretty easily and repeatably, which is a problem. But then Trigger Tech, they just come out and say it like, yeah, you know what? We marketed this trigger wrong. This shouldn't be for duty. Like, this should be a competition-only style trigger, and we got some things wrong. You can either get a full refund on it, or you can swap it out to the new version or the duty version that they're coming out with. And so just completely admitting that they made a problem and being very public about the changes and the issues, rather than just, keeping quiet and then changing things on the back end and just not letting anybody know, not letting their current customers know who own these, who bought these, that, hey, by the way, these triggers might be a little bit unsafe in certain configurations.
Yeah, that's what a company should do. I saw that video, you shared it, and I had to share it because to me, that's a good company. I mean, especially if you don't know, like you could be a good shooter, but not really understand the engineering behind some of the guns. And when you see that, what looks like a switch that kind of goes in the back on that thing, that immediately skeeves me out and think the gun's not going to be safe, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because it entirely changes the way that the gun works.
Yeah, and if you don't have the knowledge for that, you're like, this is going to be great. You put it in at your house, and then you shoot the neighbor next door while she's making her soup or something. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Well, and I think somebody did a review on that I watched, and it was a really, really positive review. It was Achilles Heel Tactical. They got a couple of the triggers from Trigger Tech. They did a really positive review of it. He used it in a class, which was like 600 rounds or something like that. But even that isn't really enough, because in a class environment, you're probably not going to be exposing it to, like, you know, long-term wear or some of these other factors to make it unsafe, which is why I'm always very, very hesitant to give like seal of approval to new products that like revolutionary new products, whether it's a new gun, a new trigger system, whatever it might be, because these novel designs, they just aren't tested. Right. So even if it works well for you, it's hard to recommend it to like your entire audience.
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff too, I look at it this way. I'll use I don't know, any company, for example, Smith & Wesson, right? They redesigned their trigger a little bit later on in like the 2.0s. But let's just say they spend a lot of time, probably millions of dollars researching that, designing it. And then you got some company that it doesn't really matter the brand. Some of them are bigger. They're not spending the same type of money and time researching. They're kind of looking at what's there. How can we make it a little better? There's not a lot of research and development behind it. They want to be first to market, and then it comes out, and then you got issues. You know, it's the same concepts. Like I brought up cars before, because I was a big car guy too, is the aftermarket, right? The stuff companies just pump it out. There's not all this money behind it in this department, going over it piece by piece. What's wrong? Testing this, testing that. They just pump it out first to market, and then it's trash. But if the company doesn't care, which a lot of companies don't, you've already made your millions of dollars on the backs of people that have junk parts now or useless parts.
Well, I think companies are kind of complicit in this with YouTubers, because like with the Daniel Defense H9, like a lot of Springfield launches, and there's a few other companies that are really bad about it, but they send like the same gun to like 12 different people and make the drop. You have 2 weeks, and we want to do a marketing push at the exact same time. So the content creators that accept it don't have enough time to fully test it, and it gives the veneer of them all being fake, and that's partially by design. So you get a lot of these really shallow, not in-depth reviews that all drop at the exact same time and are really positive because nobody's had the gun long enough, or the part long enough, the optic long enough to actually have any issues with them.
Well, who is it that put theirs on broker like the next day? It was that.
Okay, so it was the Springfield Helion. Yeah. So he in the video he lied about it too, because in the video, I know that this happened, and I don't remember the name, but yeah. So in the video he lies. He says, "Oh yeah, we shot 1,000 rounds through this, no problems," and then you see the same rifle on Gunbroker with the same background that was used in his video, and in his listing on Gunbroker he says 400 rounds. So he even lied about the round count, whether on YouTube or on Gunbroker, but he lied about it and then instantly sold the gun off. Just zero character, zero integrity for that.
I bet you that happens a lot with those
type of
product launches. Yeah, they don't keep them.
Well, I mean, damn, like
those people don't get sent any money for that. I know they don't. They just get the product.
Depends.
Some of them can get paid.
Some of the bigger pages do, I'm sure.
Yeah, but listen, even getting a free rifle and selling it for $1,400. $1,400 is what, 3,500-4,000 rounds of ammo on its own.
Yeah, so it's quite a bit.
You couldn't even convert half of that into ammo and then pocket the rest. I mean, damn.
We're in a Mexican standoff. Who's going to talk first?
Yes.
Well, we're just chilling now. I don't know. We solved the trench grenade debacle, so that worked out well.
Man, that was a roller coaster of emotions. Started high, he's working out, firing shots back. Red's arms improving points, and I just feel like
the USPSA stolen valor part. I quite enjoyed that. That was good. That's the important one. Hey, what do you guys think about holy water lubrication?
What is this? Does this have to do what?
So this is another page that they sell. They claim that in their bottles of lubrication, this is Holster One Safe. So their lubrication, their little squeeze bottles of lube, they bless with real.
Oh, my
holy
mind
water.
went different direction, bro. I was like, what? I couldn't tell from the picture. I was like,
not that type of lube, Charlie. Damn.
well, it was a weird. Nothing in that picture made me think gun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah. But selling bottles of holy water lube, and then if you go to their website, they sell like holy water. They claim, but I don't think you're allowed to sell holy water.
I mean, no, you could sell holy water. I used to be super Catholic for a number of years. At least I think you
really got somebody there just blessing it, or are they sending like some worker to the church to scoop it up and throw little cups and bring it back to the shop?
Well, yeah, I don't know how I'm real honest with you guys. I don't know how holy water works, but if you want holy water blessed lubrication, you can buy that. I feel like the Christian grifting is really heavy in the industry, as well as it's more not apropos, that's the wrong word. It's more trendy to be like trad cat and have all the cool tattoos and whatever it might be.
Well, one thing, I mean, I don't know this company or anything like that. I definitely agree on that whole grifting thing. The Christianity grift that a lot of people do, and it's like, well, what happened at SHOT Show last year? You know what I mean? That type of thing. But that other picture, that hopefully they're not actually putting holy water in gun lube. That'd be kind of weird.
Well, no, it says in their listing, it says it's finally here. Holy water, in collaboration with Trash Tack, we're putting together the only weapon lubricant that contains actual holy water.
How does it even work? Oil in the water, it doesn't. Is there one drop maybe?
Well, probably. I mean, come on, dude. It's like 30
lubricant.
Yeah, it's in the lubricant.
I don't know, man. Some dudes could be into that. You know what I mean? I had a ton of stuff blessed when I was Catholic. I don't know. I don't know if I really have. It's kind of, this maybe a little bit different than selling $90 Bibles.
Okay, it is a little different. So sorry. Wait. So, do Catholics have bottles of holy water? This is something I'm not Catholic, so this is
yeah. When I was Catholic, you could buy or take or get something blessed by a priest or something like that. Whether it be rosaries, holy water, stuff like that. So
you could buy it. You could buy holy water.
Yeah. Like you could buy water from Lourdes, stuff like that. And then obviously it's up to the seller, to be honest, whether it was blessed or if some dude from India packed it.
Compulsive gun buyer says nobody. These guys, it's finally here. You've all been asking for it. Zero people have been asking for this, but thank you though.
No, they're trying to do something new. And one thing I always talk about is as much as they have a hard time about it and their horrible company was Black Rifle Coffee. Like when that idea came up, when they came up with that idea was absolutely, in the beginning, like genius. Like that was like, I should have came up with this idea. Something so simple to put some rifles on a bag and sell it with a funny name and make millions of dollars.
Next thing you know, it's at Walmart.
And that's what everybody's trying to do. That's like the Bibles and this holy water thing, right? Trying to be the next thing that doesn't exist yet. But do we really need it?
No. Listen, I need to sell $90 Christian camo Bibles to fund my own degenerate lifestyle. You don't understand, okay? 900% markup on a basic Bible is completely necessary for me to complete my Christian life.
I know. It's like one of those things. You see this stuff all the time. You'll see these weird. That's one of the things I used to voice over too, was these horrible ads. Like the guy pulls out like the satchel, like armed citizen and stuff like that.
Can you do you should do a voiceover if you get the time. It's like of them clearing a church or something like that. I don't know these guys. I mean, I've met Orion Training Group, and to be honest,
are they running the holy water though? Because they should be.
No, that's it's a different company, completely different company. Yeah, but holy water lube fits right in.
Yes, but I feel like they're not taking it serious enough if they're not using holy water lube.
I wonder how they asked their priest about this. Like, hey, can we do a photo shoot in your chapel here so that we can sell these $90 Bibles?
Yeah, I don't know if that's. You can't really tell from the pictures.
It seems real unless it's photoshopped.
No, I don't think it's necessarily Photoshopped. I was trying to see if it was actually like a Catholic church.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it could be any old church.
It doesn't look, well, it's not an old one. I mean, I don't know where they're located.
Well, modern people,
the old ones don't really exist out here.
Yeah, I mean, there's like one beautiful cathedral in Sioux Falls near where I live, but the rest of them just look like modern.
Yeah, not even like it doesn't have to be a cathedral, but usually they have like they have some telltale signs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared
well, I
to
don't
like
see
a
any.
Or something like
it
that.
has an altar, so
yeah,
it might be Lutheran. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I can't tell.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if it was just like a random Catholic church, and it's like, I don't know, maybe depends on the priest. I could figure that'd be a hard sell. Like, hey, we're gonna clear it, and we're gonna make sure that you're safe, dude. So, and also,
yeah, it could be an old mocked up Radio Shack or something too.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of being safe, do you guys remember it was a couple months ago? According to the Marine Corps, they had one of their MNPs, one of their gate guards, had a 320 go off in its holster, and that's what prompted their engineering review of the P320. I wonder if this picture that I pulled up, I forget who sent me this, but I wonder if this picture was how it actually went off, quote unquote, in its holster. This is MNPs just doing MNP things, pointing a P320 backwards while twerking at the camera. Only the best.
Yeah, I don't know. That might actually be stolen valor.
that was
Jamiqua.
You did get him fired up by just saying the stolen valor thing.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Well, perfect. I mean, I don't know how much longer you guys want to go, but do an hour and 20. We did get a lot of support, though, and a lot of questions in forms of super chats and stuff. So if you guys want to go through theirs before we get on out of here.
While you go through those. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you two are pressed for time, feel free to hop on out. Do whatever you guys need to do. I appreciate both of you coming on. And your checks are in the mail.
Go make a nice egg salad sandwich or something and
heck yeah.
Grand thumb.
Yeah. Oh wait, what was his latest video on?
I don't know.
I don't watch it.
Oh, you don't watch it anymore?
Maybe.
Why is that? Is it one of those things where after you see how the soup's been made or something like that, you're like, I'm just not as interested anymore. Heavy breathing in the corner.
Yeah.
There's the reason he has his camera off is because there's a gun pointed at his head. Let's be real here. Absolute Moonman on Ko-Fi says, ask Trench why he has beady alligator eyes. Tell him I will measure his head like they should have at MEPS. Yeah, they don't do the head measuring thing anymore for some reason.
Yeah, I think they stopped in the 40s in Europe.
I do have to say this, though. Okay, so you know how this got taken down from the original YouTube stream, even though we're back up now, but they sent me an email containing this. Where did I just save it at? Here it is. They sent me an email concerning this. So it's about having children on the live stream. So I don't know if they thought that Trench Grenade was a child. and they killed. Well, because this is what they said. As soon as he joined, it killed the YouTube live. And it says, hey, by the way, you need to have 16 years or older to be on YouTube Live. So I don't know. I don't know if it was because they think Trench is some sort of baby or whatnot. But they're like, nope, you can't live stream with children on YouTube. Get him out of here. So I think that's what happened, but I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll figure out what the real cause was, but you know. C'est la vie. Also on Ko-Fi, Moonman says, I can't look at 2 pages at once. This is very gay. Someone show me a Tito pair to make me feel better. Well, actually, we could bring Richard up here and make him be a Tito. One time from Moonman says, make this animation thingy that plays Tito, or alternatively, use a tasteful gay man from a gotcha clip. Thanks, Habibi. I don't know about that, Moonman. The Lightspore Moonman is our federal agent, our local federal agent who sends reparations to this show while he's on the clock. Let's see. Lightspore, hater of sea shanties on Ko-Fi, says Trench is just mad. Gaston didn't want to sell him buckets of horse semen.
That's fair. I don't blame him for being mad about that.
I mean, is the Glock horse semen better or worse than other horse semen? That's what I need to know.
It's reliable.
Reliable semen.
Yeah, what about that as a product? It's like...
Oh, what about
wild horse jizz?
No. Oh, okay, so instead of holy water lube, we have Gaston Glock horse semen lube.
Well, so I'm jotting that one down.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna take that URL right now.
Yeah.
Fresh Pinochet, who gives the best helicopter rides on Ko-Fi, says this is for the focus trip GunTuber therapy streams you so generously put on. To be honest, Trench just needs to have a content warning for goofy goobers only. Aw. No super serious boys allowed. Indeed. Thank you, Fresh Pinochet over there on Ko-Fi. And all right, let's get to these. The Lightspore for 2 says if I hear another shanty, I'm a crash out. Well, I think we did start with Captain Kidd. Sorry about that. Randy reviews it for 5, says working on the eulogy for Trench's channel. I didn't expect him to join, so I was actually very pleasantly surprised when he
I was happy he joined.
Yeah, so you guys could actually have a conversation. And I feel like internet drama / beef, like once you actually talk it out, you can come to an understanding pretty fast. Okay. Moonman 5 says, it's okay. I don't know who Trench is either, and I basically live here. Yeah, Moonman's here every show. Never misses it. Jake for 2 says, kick that Nika Trench, please. Also, good morning, sirs. Good morning, Jake. Hope you're having a good night.
Not to completely derail, but did you see your favorite football player of all time is now selling hats?
Noah Kaniga?
Yes. He is
Can we
selling.
buy? Can I? Okay, I gotta look him up now. Can you send me that
buy
link?
Kaniga hats.
I want one of those hats that has his name just plastered on the front of it. Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed, guys. Do you want?
Nice. Is it on a 47?
It's 50 bucks for a hat, but honestly, kind of worth it.
I'd buy that. After we're just dogging on $90 Bibles, I'd buy a $50 hat.
$50 hat with the slur on it, please. Trench is about 5 minutes from telling some Asian guy that the leather club is 2 blocks down right before he finds out who the boss of this gym. Hey, listen, I respect people getting a workout in on the road. It's good to be consistent, getting it done. Richard
I didn't know they let children into the gym, though.
I don't know what their policy is, but apparently it's more lenient than YouTube is. Richard Chandel Jr. for 2 says, dissing service members is great. Keep it up, guys. Well, I think at one point Trench had said that GWAT vets were gay and retarded or something like that. He also called M26's injuries because he got shot in the head with 7.60 by 39. I think he did over during his service, and Trench called that a participation trophy, which is awkward considering Trench is never deployed or doesn't have a CIB. Dr. Fuzzy 1 for 2 says we're so back on YouTube. Indeed, thank you, Dr. Fuzzy 1. Appreciate it, sir. Grinder for $5 says the previous live stream was taken down because Trench was on. That haircut violates community guidelines.
Ironically enough, it did.
Yeah, it actually might have. Dr. Fuzzy 1 for 2 says it's finally over for Trench, hopefully. People love to hate Trench. Robert Kinley for 2 says, soil, we out here talking about soil, Siga, please. Soil? Oh, yeah, the dirt discussion. Yeah. So, well, that's the thing. There were many uncontrolled variables in the tests. So to come away with any conclusive evidence other than, like, if he had played it off, like, I don't know, this is just a fun test I did in my backyard, nobody would be mad. But
yeah, not serious.
Yeah, exactly. Moonman from 5 says, stealing valor is funny, actually. Everyone should get a Denny's discount. It costs too much money. I'll leave that up to other people to decide. I don't think I'm going to pretend to be a vet for a 10% discount at Denny's. I don't think that's worth it.
Just wait till you try it.
Charlie's like, listen, I'd never pay full price anywhere. But what if I claim to be a USPSA GM and I'm only an M? Does that what happens to me, Charlie?
USPSA stolen valor.
No, I know, but what happens to me? Like, because stolen valor, can you get arrested for? Like, is that a crime? That's not a
stolen
crime.
valor. Yeah, I think it is a crime.
Is it a crime?
It's a felony, isn't it?
A felony, really? So what is USPSA stolen valor then? Is that like firing squad?
Straight to jail right away.
We just do a live like now. I think. I'm not quite sure on the.
So a public.
Or you get. Actually, there's one dude. I forget his name. He was doing sketchy stuff, and he got to GM, and he got knocked down to M.
Oh yes, Matt Little. Matt Little. Well, dude, did you see? He just did it again. He registered. Really? He registered in limited, I want to say, and he shows up with a Staccato XC, which is comped, so that is an open gun. Yeah. And then he got a 71% on a classifier, and he left. he just bailed on the rest of the match.
Just so he could get the classifier.
Well, no, he bombed the classifier and then left. So he was cheating. He was in the wrong division. Still bombs the classifier and then just leaves. Doesn't even finish out the rest of the match.
Yeah, it's not even that serious, dude. I mean, one, try not to cheat, and two, if you bomb a classifier, I have plenty of bomb classifiers.
Yeah, many such cases.
By Taurus now?
Well, yes, but he only, according to his contract, he only has to shoot Taurus at IDPA matches, not USPSA matches.
Okay, all right.
I think that's how that works. Listen, I would, if I was a Taurus sponsored shooter, I would only shoot them when I had to. Under contract.
I feel you there.
Yeah. Yeah, and as Logan says in chat, Matt has done this many times.
I bet you they got a 2011 coming for shot.
Taurus?
That's my guess. Yep.
Well, actually, there's a lot of like cheap 2011s coming out of South America right now? Like, isn't T-Sauce or one of those?
Mac, all of them.
Yeah. So, well, some of those are. Which ones are Turkish? Which ones are South America? Because I always get the two.
T-Sauce is Turkish.
T-Sauce
is Turkish. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would not surprise me for Taurus to come out with a $1,000-ish 2011.
I wonder if that's going to be the new kind of trend go to see if they could get them pretty nice. Like,
I think so.
To hand fitted as possible.
Well,
yeah, I think so.
1911s and 2011s are very popular down there because of 38 Super, right? Yep. That is the cartridge that everybody's running down there, and it's not like they can run that in a Glock, right? You need the larger frame Glock. But for competition use, it's either that or Tanfoglios. That's essentially what they're running in competitions in South America now.
I'd love a Glock in 38 Super. I love that Colt I have in 38 Super.
I have one as well. They're very
love it. Yeah.
I wish that 38 Super was cheaper. Like, honestly, I would run a 38 Super if it wasn't miserably expensive to shoot.
Some places you can't even get it. I ran into a gentleman this afternoon who had been to 3 places in stores looking for it, and nobody had it.
Yeah, it's hard to find on a shelf.
So,
Moonman for 5 says, "Lol, these nickers got their ats up instead." Yeah, okay, Evan Graham. I see that PFP Emoko.
I spotted it too.
Yeah, I know. It's funny now that we recognize them by their PFPs. Paul Harrell for 5 says, "Trench loses any credibility when he says you can't change his mind. That's not the basis for scientific testing." Well, I think that's a problem too, is people have their minds made up long before they ever make the video.
Well, it's what do they call it? The Dunning-Kruger effect.
Right, where you think you know a lot, but you actually don't. There's like that.
Yeah. You think you're an expert because of a small bit of knowledge.
Yep. And then the more knowledge you get, you fall into that pit of despair.
And then criticism on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually, with enough knowledge comes like a decent amount of understanding. But it's that little bit of knowledge. It's that midwit phenomenon, right? Where you're just smart enough to figure some things out so that you think you know everything, basically.
Yep.
I feel insulted.
I didn't say your name. Moonman for 2 says, "Hate videos for hate's sake is actually based." Yeah, it's all rage bait. It's all hate content. Memes are, in a way, like, they're meant to be provocative, so I get that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's, you know, it's your conclusions and your willingness to banter with people.
Well, to be serious with your content is one thing, but to then say, oh, it's just all in fun while you're trying to portray it as, you know, this is a serious test. And the simultaneously holding both positions, you're always going to be right and wrong at the same time. So I can see why he does that to stir up controversy.
Moonman for 5 says the only thing that's hard is Trench when he sees other men. Also, Ko-Fi is blocking my payments. Now focus, you rube. I'm sorry about that, man. I don't know why Ko-Fi isn't accepting your food stamp. Sorry about that, Moonman.
Harder's better.
I didn't say that. Moonman for 2 says more stolen valor. Yes, we are a stolen USPSA stolen valor channel where we follow around. Instead of people who call out like real stolen valor, we only call out USPSA stolen valor. But that would actually be a funny thing to do. Like, let me see your practice score. Let me see your practice score, bro. What's your last classifier?
But make it all serious. Like, is it the older Shipley who does that? Calls out stolen valor.
Don,
calls out his son for not paying child support or something like that.
Child support stolen valor. Yeah, there's that. But make it a serious video about USPSA stolen valor.
make it like a mockumentary. Like, we're following this guy today who's been accused of not being a GM. Be Sinister for 2 says GunTubers need to be more like Hop and be negative. Yeah, so anytime I see a YouTube channel that I haven't seen before and they don't have any negative videos whatsoever, or they gloss over negative issues, I kind of just disregard everything that they say, because I think that's fundamentally dishonest, and I think it's also not useful information. Trident 731 says, Charlie, you're doing the Lord's work on your channel. Keep it up.
Dude,
absolutely.
Trident's awesome. Can I give a brief background on Trident?
Of course.
So back when I was on other dude's channel, he was like, Trident was #1 hater all the time. You know what I mean? And I forget what it was, Gun Mag Warehouse or something like that. Like, maybe he was just having a bad day. Long story short, dude, he's always in the videos, always supporting, just like super cool dude. I remember a long time ago he posted something like, I forget exactly what he did, but he was just having a rough time or something to that effect at that time, you know? And just a cool ass guy, just always showing up. I think. I don't know if Trident's the dude name. Just kidding. But yeah, he's always showing up and throwing support and, you know, commenting on the videos. So yeah, appreciate it, broski.
Heck yeah. It's always good to have those people following you around. Thank you, Trident. Also, Charlie's probably one of the best channels. That's because you just hit 100K, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I would say the best.
Appreciate that. Not just myself. It's my buddy Fetsy. We do it together. I'm just the guy whose dumb face is on the channel. He does a lot of the heavy lifting in the background.
The dry
You're
humor,
the
though.
looks.
The humor is that's the only reason why I watched the other guy was you. I just wanted to throw that out there. You and your relationship with the rake, that I got invested with that.
I still have that rake, dude.
Do you really?
I bet you do.
Yeah, it's completely, all the forks are broken off and stuff like that. It's sitting in my garage.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Love you.
Chud for 2 says, if I don't get mod here, I'll make you into incredibly gassy. Oh, please do not do that, Chud. That would make me very upset. You guys don't want to know what incredibly gassy is. Moonman for 10 says, this is the only GunTube stuff I watch. I already know everything I want to know and have all the correct opinions, and I am much too busy gang stalking Logan. Also, way to interrupt my typing, Richard. I don't know what that's about, but thank you for gang stalking Logan. Somebody has to do it.
Moonman was going off about, he was raging about not having mod on this channel, and I gave him mod during the middle of his super chat and interrupted him.
Oh, I see. Focus Trip's wife for 5 says, Ben's tone is the equivalent of reading a shopping list to a wife you don't like. Yeah, he's always like mildly disinterested. He's very chill and laid back about his videos, which is good. Moonman for 5 says, my coworkers are talking about Orc girls, snake girls, and bunny girls. No idea what the context is. Scared to ask since I didn't initiate it. I would stay out of that conversation if I were you, Moon Man.
Or just make it weird.
Be like, oh, are you talking about my fursona? What's your fursona?
You're like, oh man, how many dudes commit domestic violence, you think?
Well, I know one does. John Shrek McPhee, yeah. Focus Trip's wife for 5 says, does a priest take a bath and bottle the water to equate to holy water? Is this a collab deal with the Tactical Bibles? No, I don't think they don't sell priestly bath water. I'm pretty sure that would be sacrilegious. I'm pretty sure they bless the water.
So I did have a question for Charlie. He said that you can take rosaries in to be blessed, correct?
Yeah.
So they don't come pre-blessed?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe some of them if they sell it or you get it as such, but I never got one. I mean, I used to have a whole bunch of them, but never got one with the assumption or it was never implied like this is pre-blessed.
Interesting.
I just would have assumed that they already are.
Moonman for 5 says, you can have stuff blessed, but this is a little weird as a product. Ordo priests bless AKs in Ukraine and Russia. Huh. I didn't know that. I saw, did you guys see Triarch used to quote unquote bless their rifles with, they would sprinkle, what is it? What's that alcohol that's in Fast and Furious that they all love?
Hennessy?
Yeah, not Hennessy. No. It's like that. They always pop the bottles of whatever.
The beer, Corona.
The beer, Corona. Yeah. They would christen their rifles with Corona before they ship out.
That's horrible.
Good.
I'd rather have them urinate on it.
That's even weirder, Richard. I don't know why you would be into that.
You've never had Corona.
He just walks in painted up as a rifle, dude.
I would much rather you piss on it. Please. I'd pay even more for it. Richard would fit right in with the rest of the chat. Sci-Fi Cowboy for 2 says, waiting on Holy Lube, but not for guns. Oh. Moonman for 5 says, as a proper traditional Catholic, I pine for yesteryear where we past tensed these fake Jesus enjoyers. There used to be a time where people would take out vengeance in this life, and now people just, they leave it up to God. Thank you, Moonman. Logan sucks at shooting for 2, who does not suck at shooting, and I'm going to be at Area 3 with him soon. Says $2 baby grenade. Oh, yeah, for when Babe Trench's face got the stream taken down, which is unfortunate.
Oh, I have
Grinder for 5 says, as we said yesterday, Trench is hung like a cold butterfly. Of course YouTube thinks he's a child. Grinder, you're not supposed to be leaking people's private information on your platform. Moonman for 5 says, before horses were anime girls, they were Glock products. Okay. Ridiculous for 2 says, but the Kaniga hat and cover up the K letter. No, it's much funnier with the K. I could probably, here in South Dakota, I could probably get away with walking around with it in public, but some places they might have a bigger problem with that.
Which is that supposed to be Trench?
That's baby grenade.
Oh yeah, that's funny. Moonman for 5 says, I sent at least one more Ko-Fi chat. There was definitely a slur in there I didn't hear you say out loud. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry. Ko-Fi has a weird back end that I have to peer into, which is bad framing. Bad phrasing, sorry. Why is she saying that, bro? You just made that really weird.
Let me see your ass, darling. I really want to see it.
Ah, dear. Yeah, Moonman, I don't see it. Which one is that? Oh, here it is. I clicked on it. It'll pull up. Why? What the? Why isn't that? Can I not see this one specific? Okay. Here we go. Moonman says, I hate change, Focus Trip. This Ko-Fi thing is gay, but not as gay as Trench, who is very gay. So gay that even Garand Thumb's most blessed sidekick is correctly reminding him that real stolen valor is funny and that stealing Republican esports valor is lebad. Also, Can I say Niger? You can say Niger on Ko-Fi. Niger is a real word. Thank you for that. I found it.
Country though.
Yeah.
Despite their birth rates.
SB89 for 2 says, my boss is an Austrian painter. Now, I'm pretty sure your boss got kicked out of art school, bro. Moonman for 5 says, wow, Richard, WTF, make a Moko ombudsman. He's less weird than P-Boy. P-Boy. Oh, we're talking about Trent again. Shibes for 5 says, I wonder if he still has my feet pics. I'm dead serious, though. Charlie, do you still have his feet pics?
I wonder if he still has. I'm dead serious, though. Dude, I got so many Indian pictures of feet. Like, I'm going to have to sort through it, dude. We even sell
Indian ones specifically? Like, what do we mean? The good kind of Indian or the bad kind of Indian?
No, not Native American. I don't think they try and scam too often. I don't know, maybe. But
brother, have you been to a casino?
Well, I was about to say, what is a casino if not an Indian scam?
That's true. It actually only when I go to SHOT Show and I got to walk through them. But yeah, I got a ton of Indian feet pics. Maybe Pakistani, and none from Africa yet, which I'm pretty bummed about.
So wait, so in return for Walmart gift cards, are you just taking their feet pics?
No. So they will send a message about something. It's usually patches or whatever product, and I just speak English, and I tell them I'm going to place a big order. It's going to be a very big order, and I kind of rile them up like, hey, can you handle this? It's going to be a big load. And they usually say yes. And I'm just like, okay, in this country, we need to build trust, right? So the way we do it is you show me a picture of your feet. And then once I get a picture of their feet, I either just dip or I see how far I could push it. The last one, I got the dude to go in this shitty little bathroom and wiggle his feet and say, hello, Charlie Daddy.
Wait, you have that video, dude? You need to post that.
Yeah, I posted it on my Instagram, dude. I made collages out of them, and then someone sent one of the scammers my way, and then he hit me up. The scammer hit me up, and I realized I'd already gotten a picture of his foot. So I think the quickest I got it was in 4 messages. That's
amazing.
I'd have to look, dude. It's so. Let me see.
Did you post it to your story, or did you post?
Yeah, I usually just post it to my story afterwards, and I'll do it to like sad music or something like that.
Like, bro, that's hilarious.
I used to tag them so they could see it, and then I would block them. But
well, you know how Instagram, how it has every now and again, it'll have that like hidden request area. Every time I click on the hidden request area, it's all patch companies. It's like, hey, high quality PVC patch. Hey, high quality PVC patch. It's all this stuff.
Yeah, here I'll
there's a whole area of it over there because I got some from that Patches 1999 guy.
Yeah,
I ordered them and it showed up at my house in this weird like box made out of like fucking old toenails or something. And I thought it was a bomb on my doorstep.
Here, Focus. I just sent you just some pictures I could find real quick.
Do you want me to show those on screen?
Yeah, they're not my feet.
Oh, whoa! Ouch! I don't know if you guys can hear that on screen, but it does the African ceiling bird every time, and it really hurts my ears. Okay,
you can hear it, but it's very quiet. Like I think I'm actually just hearing it come through your headphones and then into your mic.
Okay, that's probably what's happening. Ooh, whoa, that's some Chungus feet right there.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. That was the first fat chick that ever sent me.
That's fat, bro.
It's just
that's
one,
fat,
though. It's like a health problem there.
Hey, that's a nice foot. Listen, custom PVC patches hub. That guy has a nice foot.
Bottom right one. That bottom right one is super funny. Oh, I sent you 2 of the same. Look at that one. Just chilling in his bed. So funny, dude.
Hey, well, at least they weren't quite as disgusting as I had imagined they might have been. But yeah, still hilarious that you torture these poor Indians who are just trying to make a living. They're trying to make a living off of your off of PVC patches.
Dude,
and then taking their feet pics.
The first patch we came out with for the channel, we took the Indian flag and removed the blue thing in the middle and just put a blue footprint.
you should do is get them to send the foot and then tell them you're ready to do business. Do you have a design? And then tell them you want to pitch a patch made like their foot.
One time this dude was like, oh, I want this. Fuck, I wish I could find it. It was like, oh, can you do this? I described a crazy situation. It was like Tom Cruise with an eagle jizzing on a bed or something like that, right? And he's like, yeah, we could do it. And then I just photoshopped all that shit in there and sent it to him. He's like, yeah, no problem. I was like, all right.
Hey, there's Randy in the chat.
Yeah, Randy's here. Actually, Randy, can you confirm whether or not these are your feet, Randy? Just out of curiosity, are those your feet? Just asking. Just asking. Hey, we got Weekend Gunner in the house for $2. Says, please redeem PVC patches, SAR. Please. I think Weekend Gunner actually wants to send you a sweatshirt, Charlie.
That'd be cool. Hit me up on Instagram if you can, please. Very appreciated.
Yeah, Lance. I'm gonna be shooting with him at Area 3 at the end of the month. Area 3 champs. So
I'm jealous.
He makes cool stuff. You got any big matches coming up, Charlie?
No, I mean Area 2 in November, but it's just gonna depend on like if I'm still hurt or not hurt. So this summer it's just been botched. So many major matches that couldn't go to. So
yeah.
But the next one is Area 2. Supposed to be shooting with Hunter, Brantley, and I think Lucas and
Super Squad, nice.
Siler. Like it's gonna be dope. So hoping I could make that. So slowly but surely.
Where's Area 2 at?
Phoenix area.
Okay, you'd be down the street from me.
Heck yeah.
Is that why you missed the match on Saturday?
Yeah. So I shot a match, what was it, like a week or two ago? The physical therapist wanted me to go out and like shoot, test it out. And the next day I was just, I was pretty fucked up. So I was like, not quite yet. So, and then the following weekend from that match was the state match. And I was like, I think I'd just be wasting my time and everyone else's.
Yeah, because we had we actually had somebody specifically ask you about. They said, "Hey, Charlie, we missed you at the Idaho State."
I saw that. Yeah, it's a bummer. I'll get back to it. There'll be matches. Pretty much like content shoot. You know, that's why I'm doing a lot of rifle stuff, which has been nice because it got me back into shooting rifle and realizing how much I suck, and also what I want to learn. And that way, hopefully, while I'm learning, the audience can learn stuff like that because I tend to ask a lot of stupid questions.
Well, but you do it in a funny way, and that's what we appreciate. Speaking of dumb questions, B. Anderson has a question. Says, "Will Charlie denounce GT, the gay Talmud, live on stream?" What are your thoughts on the Talmud, Charlie?
Talmud? I mean, you don't see me rocking one. That's for sure.
Oh, dude, that's your grift though. You need to sell tactical Bible Talmuds.
Did you see there was a meme about that after the Bible thing?
Yeah, motto.
Yeah. Dude, that's getting into a whole thing. Yeah.
I appreciated that it was stamped with the SIG insignia.
Yeah, there it is. You know, get the tactical Torah. Not the Talmud, but you know, same.
Yeah.
Moonman for 2 says, "Good kind. You sure about that one, Redskin?" Can I say Redskin? Is that a slur?
I think it's
a potato. It's a potato.
You're bringing it back. Ooh, Redskin tomatoes. Native, quote unquote, Americans are disgusting leeches. Okay, Chud.
I don't think you can go there.
Focus Trip's wife for 5 says, "I might buy some holy water after seeing these pics." Yeah. Those feet pics were SV89 wants you to denounce the Talmud. Yeah, again, we're not rocking that. And he also says something about a holo cast. Something that may or may not have happened. Moonman for 5 says, if it's any consolation, Family Guy characters also aren't real, so they have that much in common with anime gun maids. Yeah, women aren't real online, and if they are real, they're federal agents who are coming to take of half of everything you own. I have that on good authority that's what most women do if you mess around with them. Now, my question is, if you lose half of your income twice to multiple marriages, does that compound or does it square? I don't know how that works.
Well, technically, you lost half. You now have what is whole, so you don't really lose half, right? You get what I'm saying here?
Right, but if you get divorced the first time and you lose half, and then you get married and divorced again, and then she takes half, does that cut into the other wife's alimony because your net worth goes down, right?
Depends on how they calculate it before or after that, right?
Probably what state you're in.
I think I know a couple guys who might be able to tell us.
Negative 30-degree nightmare on Ko-Fi says YouTube is our greatest ally in a certain set of parentheses. Am I right? Totally not run by Sigas. YouTube not happy with that original stream. They actually did, because I appealed it, and they said, no, buddy, we're keeping it down. So, whatever. Now, Huge Ass on Ko-Fi has a very important question for Charlie. Charlie, would you rather bathe... Would you rather bathe with Garantham or swim through an Indian river?
Yeah. That's an easy one. Indian River all day, bro. Indian River all day.
Come on, man.
They got shots and stuff now.
Lots of shots. Lots of shots for everybody, bro. All right.
Would you rather bathe or do the river? I'd rather swim than taking a car door.
The Ganges has freaking killed people, hasn't it? Didn't that one Indian politician? Well, no, didn't that one Indian politician? Didn't he, like, to prove a point, he drank out of the Ganges River, which is their most holy river, and didn't he die from that?
I believe there was something like that happened. But honestly, even if I could just believe it,
you'd take that risk.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, I found the article. Yeah, so Indian politician drinks water from polluted holy river, quote unquote, to impress supporters, gets hospitalized. Yikes.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Looked like he tried going pretty far down as well. You see that? There's not a bunch of trash in the background.
I mean, that's disgusting.
That's
disgusting.
That would be a funny voiceover. You see that guy next to him?
Are you all right? That was way too much. It's like you're supposed to take a shot glass, not the whole thing. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if you just build up tolerance to the Ganges River, you eventually get superpowers. If you just
need the camouflage Bible and you can drink all you want.
Ooh, what about Ganges holy water for gun lube? Maybe it's the secret ingredient. Probably starts growing something.
I can pump it out and we can make a quick splash. Let's do it.
Josh for 5 says Buster. Thanks, Buster. Thanks, Josh. Focuser's wife for 5 says, should I start chatting on Ko-Fi to save you money so we have extra cash for Pizza Hut? Thank you, Anna. I appreciate it. Moon Man for $20. This is gonna be the last one. I'm trying to get out of here.
Damn.
Says, when a Moko is divorced by the first anime girl, she gets half. When the second anime girl, Monster, divorces him, she gets a quarter. When the third anime girl, Male, she gets a dime bag and his body pillow collection. Wow.
We have quite a few over on Rumble, it looks like, so.
Do you have a way to access them? I don't have a way to access them on Rumble. I do.
I have them pulled up right now. I don't know if the guys are wanting to still hang out for that. Tech for 5 says burn downs are dumb. What?
Well, hey, Richard, when you're out of StreamYards, it sounds horrible.
Oh.
Can you copy and paste them into the private chat? I'll just read them off. So Charlie, before we get out of here, what do you got coming up? What's the next video you're working on?
Honestly, I think the next one is we're going to be working with, do you know Sam Matt? He took 5th place carry optics. He's been in a few videos. He was in like the nerfing a Grandmaster video.
Okay,
that cool. I did. So yeah, he's local to here. So one thing wanted to do was go over some fundamentals because we did a how to train like a GM, and those kind of what Sam was saying was going over like, oh, this is A class, M class, stuff like that. I mean, anyone can do it, but it's really focused on those guys. Is now for the other side of things, dudes maybe just getting into it, just getting into shooting and some fundamentals, which will kind of take you far, you know. And he'll be kind of leading it. He has, I mean, dude, he's such a good shooter. It's like, okay, like you obviously know more.
he's going to get on the channel, kind of go over it. And it's cool because he has a weird style of grip, or at least different than mine. So, and right now, since I have a weak grip healing up, it's kind of a great time to show like certain things about the shooting, how they could affect your shooting. And I don't know. So don't have it exactly outlined, but something along those lines. So kind of a focused educational type video about shooting.
Good.
Pistol shooting.
It's good to have that content out there by people that are actually knowledgeable.
Yeah. So hopefully a lot of dudes will get into it, and that way they won't kind of, I harp on that a lot, is like, you don't need to go out and buy a $4,000 gun. Here's some tips and tricks. See if it works out for you.
100%.
Thanks, Earl.
Yeah, Earl says Rad's Arms, best commentary on SHOT Show events ever.
I did do a Cry Precision party review on my Instagram.
Oh, did you?
yeah, while I was there.
So Rads, what's your next thing that you're working on?
Oh man,
anything catching your eye?
I gotta get that Daniel back out now that I got the fire and pen. A lot of it's waiting for whatever the newest exciting thing is to make fun of, really. But yeah, I got one of those Bodyguard 2.0s that I really like, and I kind of want to. You don't see a lot of stuff on that really either. I know. I think is it Hunter Constantine, the Bodyguard, the Performance Center one he might be talking about, but the regular one. It's become replacing my J frame as my carry gun. I like it a lot.
Is that the 380?
The 380, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think those. I've heard good things about it. It's smaller
than a Glock 42. It doesn't shoot as nice as a Glock 42. I don't care what any of those videos say. It's not something about the Glock 42 was like special on a 380. It's not as bad as like an LCP, but it's definitely snappy, and it's definitely not a gun just putting 500 rounds through in one sitting.
Interesting. Over on Rumble, Tech Guns for 5 says burn downs are dumb. What is Trench doing better than regular guy training? He has put more rounds on one Glock 19 than Trench has fired in the last 2 years. Y'all need to train, not give Trench dollars.
Oh, you muted yourself.
Sorry about that. Moment. Well, I thought I had to sneeze for a second. Chuck, for one, says, so you fill a Glock with oil, something you're not supposed to do, then you wonder why it doesn't work. Trench, you're retarded. You're not smart because you served Israel, did 9/11, and Trench and Kyle are gay. Tech Guns for 2 says, adding oil to the striker area will cause tiny brass chips from the primers to get stuck. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Because I have that same issue on my Canic. Like every time I clean it out, like there are just chunks inside of the striker channel. But that's because that gun is not machined properly. Chuck on Rumble for 1 says, just because you served doesn't mean you know your shit. Kyle served for Lord's sake, and we know he's retarded. Yeah, much Kyle hate today. Lethality for 2 says, Twench's voice makes me want to put toothpicks under my toenails and kick a wall. Wow. Ouch, dog. Johnny Appalachia, hope you're having a good night, Johnny, says, shout out from Appalachia. It's actually Johnny B, yes. And Plastic Guy over there for $1 says, I want to know what the panel thinks Aimpoint is releasing tomorrow. I think it's, surprise, surprise, it is the T3. The Aimpoint T3 is launching tomorrow. That's my guess. I don't know if anybody else has an opinion on what Aimpoint is releasing tomorrow.
No idea.
Maybe the Koa again. I have no clue.
The Koa 2. Or the Acro P3. It's finally fixed this time.
Re-releasing it only to pull it from the market again.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, but I think that's about everything for today. I want to thank Rad's Arms, Charlie, for hanging out. I'm going to put all of their stuff in the description of the re-upload because I think I'm going to take this, cut it up, and then put it back on the main channel where it was supposed to go originally. But yeah, with that out of the way, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, for hanging out. Oh, actually, shoot, damn it, you guys didn't stop over here. You guys need to stop doing this, please. Chud for 2 says, read Rumble. I did. Got still fat and gay. I did, Chud. Moonman for 2 says, yeah, hurry up and read these. I need to get to Popeyes. Popeyes. Moonman for 2 says, Charlie, how do I become a US FDA Grand Wizard?
Oh, dude. Well, first you need to get one of those Bibles for $90. And then I think that solves everything, actually.
Holy water. Yeah, holy water on the taint.
Yeah.
That's
well, they come in those little squeeze bottles, so you can put that holy water anywhere. And I mean anywhere. Thank you for that, Moonman. Moonman for 2 says, Zorp, silence peasant. He is using super chats to talk to somebody else in chat. Anderson for 2 says, Charlie, a.k.a. Cash Patel, release the trench files.
Nah, I'm good, dude. Goal wasn't to dox it, dude.
Well, listen, Charlie, are you saying that the trench files don't exist or that you're just not releasing them?
Oh, that's such a good response.
A little while ago, you said they existed, but now you're saying, well, I don't know, man. They're out there, maybe, but we can't release them to the public?
Damn, that's such a good response. I have no comeback to that. I have no comeback to that. Damn.
All right. Well, hey, with that out of the way, since nobody else is going to do anything or say anything in the next 5 seconds, I wish you all a very wonderful night. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out. We'll see you in the next one, and God bless, gentlemen.
Later.